Welcome back to Final Fight 2, and we are in the last portion of Maki's playthrough here. Bit of a long one here, so enjoy the ride. Yeah, like the real problem with Maki is she may have speed, but she just it just seems like she takes more damage, and also she doesn't dish out as much damage. And I think in a normal playthrough that's not too bad, but in the harder difficulties it really starts to show, especially with this last level here. I'll just say I had some difficulty. It's true. Very true. And it doesn't help that this is one of the longer levels, as it should be. You know, it is the final level, so. Punch Elliot here. And Leon. And Atlas. Punching a lot of people. No females, though, because, once again, it was censored in the United States. It became more confusing because one of the names they used for these guys is an actual moot name in Final Fight 3, so there you go. No Dr. Pepper at the moment, so I'm stuck with Mountain Dew, unfortunately. I mean, I could be more healthier to drink water, but... which I should. Everyone should drink more water. Not saying quit soda cold turkey now. But drink more water. Unless you're already drinking plenty of water, then don't drink more water because that's actually hurtful. There is such thing as too much water, believe it or not. So let's see, any major updates? Well, in terms of Street Fighter V, it seems like we're waiting on the Blanca to come out. So he should be coming up soonish, I believe. I haven't really looked into it. Nothing new in terms of games. I haven't gotten really anything new. Other than Lost Odyssey, I finally got a copy of that. So, pretty excited about that. Only $10 too. I thought it was going to be more expensive. Pretty stoked about that one. No Dragon Ball Fighter C. But yeah, that's really the only new purchase I made since the last part. And oh, my videos will no longer be monetized. But, you know, to be fair, I mean, with YouTube, it was kind of silly that YouTube let me do it in the first place, so... Did I talk about this in the last part, actually? Maybe? Huh. I don't know, but anyway, I mentioned it. And if I mentioned it before, I apologize for being a broken record, like I usually am. In terms of Final Fight news, still nothing. Unless, I haven't been keeping up with the Street Fighter V. The character things they do. Let's actually look that up. I got the phone right here. While the video was playing here. Take a quick look at that. Oh yeah, the last Blockbuster, I had this just in a tab. The last Blockbuster closed down in Texas. Which is, you know, it's sad. Because, from what I'm understanding, Blockbuster started out, that was like the first Blockbuster, I believe, that started out. And now, as of that report, there's only 8 left. And specifically, it's 6 in Alaska and then 2 in Oregon. But they said the ones in Alaska are really doing really well. So, it seems like Blockbuster is still going to stick around for quite a bit, especially in Alaska. In a place like that, I imagine something like Blockbuster would thrive. So that's cool. I wouldn't mind visiting Blockbuster for one last time. If I just happen to be in the area. In Alaska or Oregon. Blockbuster. I don't know how I don't know how big Movie Gallery was, but that was the one I actually went to when they were closing down and bought like like a bunch of DVDs, but just like quite a bit of them, I'll say. I guess my backlog is so bad. Like I just got so much stuff. What? Why am I having a hard time trying to find this website? It shouldn't be too hard. In this part of the level, use these walls to your advantage. If you can get all the enemies against the wall, do that, because it will help you quite a bit. Those electric dudes actually is quite a problem, and they benefit from putting them against the wall. Wait. He punched me in the back of the head. How very rude. I'm sorry, I'm having a harder time with this, pulling up this list. Okay, here we go. Alright, so let's see if anybody's been, actually updated with this Final Fight thing with these characters. Let's see, where did I last left off? They've been doing the Street Fighter EX characters, which is pretty interesting. Remember, Maki, use that wall. Like, I don't, like, past me's not really using it, looks like. See, I was a dummy back then. Alan Schneider. I haven't played the EX beta. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little concerned about I'm blanking on the name of the mechanics. I just feel like it's similar to the gym system in Cross Tekken, but I can't be fair, I haven't played it, so that's just my concern. Okay, it looks like we're starting with some Street Fighter 3 background characters. It's always nice. It's always nice to get these, some more info on, background characters and whatnot. There's Dark Sakura, obviously, because, Sakura's been released. Okay, here's one. From January 2nd. She's from Final Fight 3, so that's pretty cool. So we do got some Final Fight news back from January 12th, but what can you do? I'm slow. A hot-blooded detective to protest the peace in Metro City. She uses her long legs to deliver powerful kick attacks. Her special move, Fire Spinner, sets any troublemakers ablaze. Ooh. She likes instant ramen but hates cooking. Alright. Let's see. As she hates cooking and houseware, she takes care of meals by going to her favorite Vietnamese restaurant or with instant ramen. So it's not too much info here to tell what she did after Final Fight 3, unfortunately. Because with Carlos, it did say specifically in his bio that he's living with Hagar's mansion, and he's just basically being a freeloader. And he no longer does his special move anymore because it hurts his back, which is pretty hilarious. Oh, okay, okay, we got quite a bit of Final Fight character news. That's pretty cool. Or not news, but some other stuff. So we got Dean here, which, these are Final Fight 3 characters. We'll get the two of them at some point. And he's a former Street Fighter named Dean. He's able to collect the energy in the air around him and release it as electricity, so like Blanca. Which is a lower branch. So I know I'm completely ignoring the game that's playing, but we made it inside the base itself, so we're getting there. We are getting there. Let's see. He fights together with Hagar to get rid of them once and for all. He is a prominent in using a hammer as a weapon. He likes beef and rice with curry, then surely he must also like beef and rice with... What? If he likes beef and rice with curry, then surely he must also like beef and rice with curry, right? I don't get the joke. Alright, so not a whole lot of info with Dean, what happened to him on Final Fight 3. Jessica? I wonder if there's, this is prep for Cody. That's gotta be it, so we're gonna see some Final Fight characters in preparation of Cody coming out soon, maybe. The daughter of a certain muscle-bound mayor, for a while she was dating her savior, Cody, and they made for a happy couple, but now... As the mayor's daughter, she was kidnapped by the criminal organization Maki, who wanted to disrupt peace and tranquility in the city. Hager, Guy, and Cody successfully rescued her, and afterwards, she and Cody began dating. Okay, so they weren't dated till after Final Fight. That's interesting. However, Cody was jailed after repeated incidents of violence, and ultimately they broke up. Currently, Jessica is studying abroad in French. Okay, that was mentioned in the past before, so according to this, as of right now, Jessica's still in France studying abroad. Okay, is that it with the Final Fight stuff? Let's see. No, we have Jay here, okay. So we got some Book stuff, too. Okay, I like how he has a single letter as his name. That's interesting. Though, extremely... Because Jay... yeah, Jay was the... No, was it 2P or Jay? It's one of those two that appeared in Abigail's ending. Same with Roxy and somebody else. Axel, I believe. Let's see. After the collapse of the Mad Gear gang, he spent his time hanging out with Abigail and Axel. Okay, so he's the one that's with Axel. Or with Abigail. Though he may not look it, he's a major health nut who only drinks... the cafe... some kind of weird coffee. Anyway. Alright. So after the events of Final Fight, Jay is hanging out with Abigail in his auto repair shop and whatnot. 2P is next. Now, 2P is the one that's in Streetwise. And is a minor character in that. But, according to Street Fighter V now, Streetwise didn't happen, so... Let's see how this goes, though. He likes green salads and dark places. He dislikes steel pipes, lizards, and earthworms. Wow, they gave him some bad, really backstory. He was found collapsed half naked on the street by a Mad Gear member. Having lost his memory, he doesn't even remember his birthday. He's skillful in the use of heavy weapons, has a sense of humor, and often cracks jokes. He's often known as for saying, "Ah, that guy's just like me." Okay, so we got some backstory for 2P. That's about it. But as I mentioned before, he was a character in Street Fight who you interact with. So there was a little bit of Final Fight news that's been posted since our last look. And I think they do these once every week, I believe. Now, it seems kind of random because, yeah, because I see one for January 22nd, and then 26th, which was 4 days, and then the next one was 29th, which is just 3 days. So that was actually just yesterday for 2P, so, as of the recording of this. So I gotta keep an eye on that. I've been meaning to. Just like I've been meaning to, like, sit down and actually do a timeline of Final Fight events, but... I'm lazy. I'll fully admit it. I need to stop being lazy. I need to start doing these more often. Yada yada yada. But hey, there's a video game going on here. But I was talking about some Final Fight related stuff. You know what, since I have the phone right here with me, why not go dig a little bit deeper, see if there's anything related Final Fight wise. Nah. Doesn't seem like a whole lot that's going on with Final Fight. It's hard to say when we'll get another Final Fight game. If ever. But, you know, never say never. You know, Mega Man's come back, so... Which is actually in my little book here. I got the... I think I mentioned it before, but I do have the Legacy Collection, Volume 1. And, at some point down the road, I'd like to do Mega Man 1. I check out my, journal here I got for Christmas. Very nice. Thank you, Mom. Very nice journal. And I make notes and whatnot, and I have an ideal list of... Well, maybe not ideal. Well, I have a list. I'll say that. I have a list of games I'd like to play and in what semi-order I would like to have. I got Final Fight 2 at the very top here, as you can see. And I already do know what I want my next game to be, right off the bat. I think I mentioned it before, so, what game I'll be doing next. We're getting closer. We are getting closer to the end here with Maki. But then we'll just have Carlos to do, and he won't be as long. Carlos hits a little bit harder. He's like he's like Cody. Average all around. Remember, pass me, the wall is your friend. I don't know why you didn't use it more often, but here we are. Alright, last moot portion here. Just throwing these guys. Even though it's telling me to go, I'm like, no, I gotta beat these mooks up first. I don't want them to gang up on me. See, these electric dukes, I'm not too fond of their, them, because they're a little off. It looks a little off with their animation of getting up off the ground, so it kind of messes with me. Like, they don't have a dizzy thing like a lot of the other mooks do. They just... It's kind of like a lazy kind of thing, it looks like. These people. Just blowing themselves up with fire. As you can see, I'm being very cautious here. Because I know with Maki, it took quite a bit for me to do this part. Many runs. And I feel stupid every time I get hit. I was really at that point, like, every little hit, it felt, damaging, I guess is the best way I can describe it. Like, there was points where I thought I was getting hit too many times, and I'm like, okay, I'm resetting it. And try, this final level again. Because I was at that point where, with Maki, that... Because I'm playing the Wii U version, you can, make a legitimate, or I guess if you want to consider it legitimate, save state. So I did do safety saves with Maki here. And, because it got to that point where I did put it down for a little bit for the recording, and just I had to take a breather, you know, come back to it. Because I'm not saying I'm the greatest Final Fight player in the world by any means, stretch of the means. And I'm sure there's something that I could be doing that makes this process a lot easier. Like, I've seen speedruns of Final Fight 1 before, and it's pretty great. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to jump the gun here. I would prefer playing 1 over 2 any day, in terms of Final Fight. For a number of reasons. For starters, you have unlimited continues, at least the arcade original of Final Fight 1. The ending, you didn't have to beat the game on the hardest mode to get the full ending. It's a number of things. I'll go more in depth about it after Carlos's playthrough. You gotta save some stuff to talk about. Like, I appreciate what Capcom did for trying to bring in Final Fight 2 and 3 for the SNES exclusively. Because Final Fight 1 on the SNES was pretty bad. But they certainly improved as time went on. Like, Final Fight 2 was a step up. Like, I would play this over the Final Fight 1 SNES for sure. And then Final Fight 3 is, you know, fantastic. And definitely a step up from 2. Having not 3 players, but 4 players, and... Or not 4-player multi-mode, but, you know, 4 playable characters. And multiple paths. Final Fight 3 is going to be fun. And the more I think about it, I think I would play Mighty Final Fight before Final Fight 2. But I think that's more of a novelty kind of thing than like a legitimate kind of thing. I don't know. I guess really at the end of the day, it just depends on the mood. It's like, okay, I'm in a mood for a beat 'em up. Do I want to play an older one or a newer one? And usually if I'm wanting to play an older one, it's more than likely just Final Fight 1. It's a classic, man. You know, it started, well, it didn't start it, the beat 'em up stuff, but it popularized it, for sure. Capcom tends to do that. They're not the first ones to do it, but they're one of the ones that popularize it. Because they aren't the first one that made the fighting game. They just popularized fighting games with Street Fighter 1. And more so with Street Fighter 2. Get this, barbecue. See, what I should be doing is trying to throw these guys against the wall. A little bit difficult, though, when it is 3 big dudes, 2 being entrees. Okay, here we go. We got something going here. There we go. Beautiful. This is exactly what you want to do when you have a wall. Makes things so much easier. And then there's a problem of, whenever a guy spawns, just try to throw him against the wall here. Make him join the pile. And these bigger guys do have more health. They are meat sponges, as one can say. There we go. Alright, let's punch this wall. Alright, now we are on to the final boss, which is really easy. Like, after this long level and getting to the boss, it's a fresh air, because he's really not that difficult. Might take a little bit, but he's really not that difficult. Like, all you have to worry about is, him doing his Tatsu. And usually he doesn't start really doing that until he loses some health. But he'll start doing that on Wake Up. Or whenever. I do like his pink, in his hair, though. I think it's a really interesting, neat pink. More so better than, Poison's in Final Fight 1. Beautiful shade of pink. Yeah, really, as soon as you knock him down, just walk away from him and you're good. Like, I do the slow slow take on this. But I'd rather play it safe, especially with Maki. More so having to restart this a couple of times. Cool music, though. Okay, you do gotta watch for his punch because of the range on it. Just try to not be on the same plane as him and you'll be good. See, look, I can even kick him out of his Tatsu. If I place my kick well enough. Or know where to put my kick when he's doing it, I should say. If you can do a grab combo, that's cool, but I'm just doing it the long way. I think speedrunners would be proud of me. It's got an air Tatsu too, which I actually completely forgot about. Some intense action here. This is what a Final Fight fighting game should be. Nah, like an actual Final Fight game would be more in depth, more depth to it and whatnot. I mean, heck, I even take another Revenge. Just add more characters and refine the battle system. Because it doesn't have to be an exact Street Fighter clone. Heck, if you want to be like something more faithful, you can make it like DFO. If you want, just Final Fight. Or he's like, hey Sega, you know how we both got like beat 'em ups that we don't really use IPs? Well, let's do a crossover fighting game, huh? You know how much money they would make? More so on the Streets of Rage side. More so because, in all actuality, Streets of Rage is the one that... Like, the time between Streets of Rage and Final Fight, there's been, you know, there's less of a gap with Final Fight, and people have been waiting longer for a Streets of Rage game. I'll say that. Alright. He's almost dead here. I'm assuming he died. Because, yeah, I mean, he kind of does the same thing as, Belger. You knock him out, and that's it. You're not getting a life. But, yeah, that's Maki's portion of the playthrough, so we got one more after this. No. My super BG into Hug. That's her super, she goes in for the Hug, as the super background pops up. My mustache. But yeah, that's it. That's it for Maki's. Definitely the character I would play the least in Final Fight 2. I'll say that, if it wasn't obvious. Next up is Carlos. A little bit more funner. His stuff is a little bit shorter too, so it won't take as long. And I must have pressed a button during that. Whoops. Oh well, there's gonna be some quirks here and there. It wouldn't be my playthrough without some quirks. But yeah, this is Maki's playthrough, and hopefully I'll get to Carlos's pretty soon. So this has been Dishabomb Pal, and I'll see you in the next part.